very good presentation of a few important questions that I hope I don't make it more complicated with my presentation. So first of all, I'd like to define what's international research, and by definition, it's research that's carried out or conducted in populations of low or middle income countries, and that's usually sponsored by a foreign entity that could be NIH or Wellcome Trust, or it could be even the private sector, any pharmaceutical companies. And the problem with international research in my part of the country, in my part of the world where I come from, is that there are a numerous number of clinical trials, and they have increased tremendously. So out of an estimate of about 50,000 clinical trials conducted in the developing world, about all over the world, 40% of them are actually being done or conducted in the developing world. This slide comes from a conference that was conducted very recently in Turkey, and it shows the number of clinical trials that have started in various regions of the Middle East. And as you can see, Iran and Egypt and Saudi Arabia are rating the highest, and then you can see smaller numbers up to like 13 trials in Algeria or something, but these numbers are really big for our part of the country. And there's a lot of talk about vulnerability of people in the developing world, and the WHO has an estimate of over 1 billion people that live on less than $1 per day. And that's a really, really important problem for those people, because in addition to their poverty, there's very high literacy rates, especially among women. So in Egypt, for example, the illiteracy rate among women is, on a national level, it's about 28%. But if we go deeper into the country, in rural areas, we would find numbers as high as 36%. So these people are vulnerable because of their poverty, because of their illiteracy, and in addition to all of that, there is inadequate protection of human rights. So people really don't know what their rights are. And over and above all of that is the inability to really comprehend what research is really about, and how, when they participate in this research, what are their rights and their obligations as research participants. Now, patients in these parts of the world have limited or sometimes no access at all to healthcare. And WHO estimates says that about 1% to 35% have access to preventive care. And so we have millions of people dying out of preventable or curable diseases. And I'll show you some slides to highlight these points. So this is data from the WHO, and it shows measles immunization coverage and skilled birth attendance among the poorest and the least poor of the developing countries. And we can see coverages in the poorer as low as 20% for skilled birth attendance, and maybe over 60% barely, when measles is one of the major priority diseases that are targeted for the Millennium Development Goals. And when we go into the data more deeply, we can find that there are really very, very big discrepancies between the poorest quantiles and the richest quantiles of each country's population. And it's very evident that these disparities are really, really big. In Egypt, from the latest GHS data, we have data that shows that 92% of the poorest quintile of the women have problems accessing healthcare. These problems are mainly in the form of the absence of physicians or healthcare workers at the health site, or inability to travel to the health services, or even absence of the essential finances to buy the treatment that's necessary for their conditions. And also recently, Egypt has started a health sector reform program, And we can see that the percentage coverage of health insurance up till now, although it's still in a pilot stage and we haven't really established a nationwide insurance, but the poorest and highest, richest quantiles show very big discrepancies as regards health insurance. So the main issue here is about shifting research to developing countries. And I'd just like to give you, I'm sure you all know this, but it's just an overview of the 10-90 gap, about how the 90% of resources are really spent on priority problems that are not for developing countries, actually. And why is this shift, moving towards developing countries? And that's because of the unique disease mapping with higher prevalences of certain diseases. So, for example, diabetes and hypertension play very high prevalences in the Middle East, and Egypt will be one of the top 10 countries with a very high prevalence of diabetes in the coming 10 to 15 years. In addition, Egypt has a very high prevalence of hepatitis C. It's approximately around 10% prevalence. And of course, we all know about the HIV epidemic in sub-Saharan Africa. In addition to all of that, there are large patient populations, so the enrollment is really quick, and the cost of recruiting all these patients is in comparison to studies conducted in the US or in Europe, would be very beneficial from a sponsor's point of view. And of course, there's the point of less stringent regulatory and ethical guidelines there. I won't go through the slide again because Jim has already done that, but the main issue is about the Declaration of Helsinki is the point of that research should be responsive to the health needs of the populations and that these communities should really benefit from the results of these researches. And the real question that I come up with is how can research participants in developing countries benefit from a clinical trial? And according to the Declaration of Helsinki, they should have access to interventions that are identified as beneficial in the study. So that's the main issue that we're really talking about, post-trial access to whatever's beneficial or whatever we have identified as a beneficial intervention to this population. And if we look at other guidelines, we'll see that the SIOMS phrases a very similar wording about making the benefits reasonably available for the population. And so what are really the fair benefits that we should provide to these participants? That's a big issue because actually participants joining clinical trials or research in poor countries, they often join externally sponsored trials because they do not have any access to healthcare. And this is their chance to access high-quality healthcare. In addition, they really don't have any voice in negotiating post-trial access. So after the trial is done and everyone goes home and is happy, we're still there with the burden of our diseases and we don't have any benefit. So it's really about distributed justice and how we violated that, and that local populations will not really significantly benefit from research if the new therapies will not be made reasonably affordable to them, although they are really taking a high proportion of risks by being there as research participants. So in conclusion, I'd just like to highlight that we have over 1 billion people living in poverty that do not have access to basic health care, and in these populations the number of clinical trials has really increased in the recent years, and the main question is how can these trials be conducted in an ethical manner without issues of exploitation, where